Hays from Afro Chic, and today I'm interviewing Maxwell Gillingham-Ryan. Hi, this is Jeanine Hays from Afro Chic, and today I'm interviewing Maxwell Gillingham-Ryan, who's the founder of ApartmentTherapy.com and author of Apartment Therapy's new book, Big Book of Small, Cool Spaces. So, hi, Maxwell. How are you today?
Hi, Jeanine. I'm great. Nice to be chatting with you.
Oh, it's so good to talk with you. I know that many of our readers read Apartment Therapy, and you get thousands of visitors to the site every day. But some of us may not be too familiar with the motto of Apartment Therapy, which is saving the world one room at a time. Can you tell us a little bit more about the motto and how it impacts your design style?
Okay, so the motto and the name Apartment Therapy came early on in 2001, and it came from the notion that when you're working on your home, you're actually working on yourself. I was a school teacher before I started Apartment Therapy for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And what I found was the children who did the best in my classroom came from the best homes. And that doesn't mean it wasn't like a rich home, poor home type of thing. They were at all. It was the children who had, I like to say, sort of organized, beautiful, calm homes. And that made a huge impact on their ability to learn when they came into the classroom. And I'm talking about children 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age. So when I started Apartment Therapy, my idea was, if the home has that big an impact on children, it's having that big an impact on us as adults and potentially as parents too. And so working on your home is really sort of building a foundation for life, because it's the place you spend, well, it's not necessarily the place you spend the most time, but it's the place you start the day and end the day. It's your retreat. It's your place to recharge. It's the place to express yourself. So if it's not working for you, you're going to have problems in the rest of your life. So when we say we're trying to save the world one room at a time, it's really because we're not going to, the problem we've chosen is to help you with your home. And we think if we can solve rooms, the problems with rooms, will save the world, will help the world.
That is a great philosophy, and I think a lot of people don't think about their home as leading to their own personal health or personal joy. But
absolutely, it's a big problem, and it's a bigger problem the busier you are. Often the more successful you are, and particularly in urban cities where there's a lot of stress and stimulation and a lot of restaurants that'll keep you from going home.
Well, I think that really leads into the second question. It's just really about your new book on small spaces. And I think that those are one of the things that a lot of people feel challenged with. How do you make that small space, a healthier space? So can you just give our readers some tips, or what are some of the top, things that they can do to make their small space a healthier space in their lives?
All right. So I'm gonna jump right into decorating, because when I talk to people about small spaces, if I talk to them about mainstream decorating tips, which I totally do, it can be a really long conversation, and I can get into things like clutter, and right away I can see their interest waning when I start to talk about that. So what I like, particularly around this time of the year, decorating is great because it's the one area where there are not many where you can buy yourself out of a problem, but also where smaller works really does work better. So let me just give you an example, and this is like imagine you're in a tiny little apartment, okay? So right here I've got 4 cell phones with 4 cords to plug them in to be charged. And you can imagine that this might be right in your entryway as you come into your small apartment. Maybe you don't have 4, but maybe you have 2, or you have a roommate or a family or whatever, so you've got more than one. That's a problem that you can solve super easily, the cord problem. One way you can do it is with the Duracell MyGrid. It's a wireless charging pad. And so instead of those 4 phones looking like that, you can put your phone right on the pad, and it will charge it, and it only has one cable that snakes to the wall.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which it's cool. And the other thing that you want to then do is, what about that one cable? So we've got these Blue Lounge cable drops. These are actually cable what do they call them today? The cable commanders is really the alligators or whatever the terminology is. These are ones that are actually attractive, that you can look at, that are also will work well and get that cable quickly out of the way. Then, again, small spaces, not a lot of room. Here's a stereo. Here are 2 stereo solutions that have no cords and are very tiny. The big one here, let's start there, is the phonophone. Has no cords because it's not electric. You just take your iPhone and you put it in the little cradle, and it naturally amplifies the sound of your iPhone.
Fantastic, and it looks good too.
It's beautiful. It's ceramic. I mean, it's not for geeks. It's sort of anti-geek in a way. And then this other one is for super geeks. This is a Jawbone boombox, and it has no cables because it connects to your phone via Bluetooth. And what's remarkable about this is that even though it's very, very small, it has audio quality not unlike a stereo I had in college. It's amazing, and you could carry it around your apartment. You could put it in the kitchen, or you could put it in the bedroom. All of these things are solutions that you can easily use in small spaces. You could buy them for Christmas, and they would replace a problem that you're currently living with.
Fantastic, and it sounds like they also can reduce your reliance on a lot of different cords, and maybe reduce your energy consumption as well.
Yeah, energy consumption is maybe, but definitely they'll reduce the stuff in your home, and in many cases too, they'll turn something that was merely useful into something that's actually a conversation piece. It's actually attractive. Again, technology can be beautiful. So when you take a cable guide and you make it pink as opposed to ugly and gray, I think you've actually achieved something, because we all live with this stuff now. It's a fact of life. We need these things to sort of make them better. Great.
Well, I know we're getting close to the end of our time, and one of the things, I guess the other things I wanted to ask was in technology related or techno rating related is flat screen television.
Right.
I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest gifts that we'll see in people's homes this season. Do you have tips on how people can set up their flat screen in a way that doesn't look hideous with wires everywhere, and also hide that screen in a way that helps their home look beautiful still, but also they can enjoy the television?
Yeah. I'll give you two ideas. One of which is sort of more low tech, and one is a little bit more high tech. And I'll be honest with you, the high tech solution is one that I know from apartment therapy, being a reader of my own site. It's not something I actually even have in my home. It's so high tech. The first thing is that flat screen TVs, when you buy them and you mount them on the wall, that you shouldn't think of them as paintings. That's too high to hang one. You want to hang it lower. You want to hang it at the viewing level of when you'd be sitting and watching it. So we had a reader who is in my latest book, and she came up with the ingenious idea of not just hanging the television on the wall at a lower angle, but she installed a vintage mantelpiece, and she put the TV inside the mantelpiece. So it looks like a fireplace was there in her apartment, and the TV it sort of blends right into the opening, and it hides all the cords.
So, that's fantastic.
Which is good, because not everyone can knock holes in their wall to route cords away. So this is sort of an easier way of getting it done. You could even do it in a rental if you wanted to. The other solution is moving more in the direction of these HDMI devices, which allow you to hook up your television, your flat screen, without cables. They're cordless devices. They work with things like the Apple TV, which are getting tinier and tinier and cheaper. And they really allow you to sort of run your home entertainment, if you will, from movies to television, now to your computer, off of one screen wirelessly via a single controller. That's really where things are going, and they're getting a lot simpler.
Oh, fantastic, and it sounds simple, sleek, and pretty all at the same time.
It is. It's cool, and it's not just for hardcore geeks anymore.
Good. So it's for us design lovers too. Well, that's
right.
Fantastic.
That's right. And that's what we're finding all the best stuff. And it's not always easy, but if it's out there, we find it.
Well, great. Well, Maxwell, I thank you so much for talking with me and giving some tips to our readers right before the holidays.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and have a great holiday.
You too. Have a happy holiday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.